Welcome, Cancer, to my temple. This is the Temple of Consciousness, and I'm Ava. I'm going to be your spiritual guide and oracle for a spiritual tarot forecast for the month of May 2025. And this will be relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Cancer. You were the last sign last month, so now you're the first one this month. I do one tarot forecast per day. I find that enough for me. These forecasts are rather demanding, actually, on an emotional level. And so I try to piece out or deliver to you the forecast when I'm feeling very connected, relaxed, and receptive. So I make space during the day for that. I live out here. This is my new home. And it's a cabin, one big room that has sort of space for a kitchen, space for the office. And there's a water catchment outside in which I actually can swim. And for a Pisces, I'm a Pisces, that's worth everything, actually. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere with nature and a few people around, scattered around, but I don't see them. I rarely hear them. So it's very private. And in this place of peace, I try to deliver for you as spiritually inspired a reading as possible. Now, this month we're doing something a little bit different again, because I had been absent from these readings for several months due to the hurricane that I told you devastated me and forced me to make a move, and this is the move I made out here on the big island of Hawaii. I'm living totally off grid. I had to invest a great deal of money to accomplish my dream. And I'm trying as best I can to make this the kind of sanctuary, temple that makes that temple of consciousness something that's actually real. And so I'm here doing that and enjoying every moment of it. What I'm telling you is that consequently I'm going through a lot of evolutionary changes in the channel as well to accommodate my change of life. I'm transforming. My life has transformed. And so therefore, how I do these readings is also in a transformative state. I had, when I first got here, I had added an astrology forecast for the two planets of Venus and Mars, their transits during the month. And then last month, because I had added another facet to the reading, which is the inclusion of a yoga pose and a yoga mudra that is connected to the reading itself, that you can perform during the month if you wish, or try it out. Since I had added that, I couldn't see keeping the astrology because it would make these videos so long, but I decided to make a separate video for the transits of Venus and Mars. And so that is already up. I'm launching these two forecasts simultaneously. so that you can access the other even before you watch this video. Because the astrology is a sister spiritual method of divination and self-awareness. And astrologically, it's very interesting because Venus is moving through your 10th house in Aries. And the 10th house is the house of career, your reputation, what you're doing out in the world. And Mars is transiting your first house of self and the second house of money. And so it all ties together very well in that you are gaining self-confidence and asserting yourself in areas of finance and career. So please, I'd like you to look at that video first if you have the time, and then come back and we do this tarot forecast. And this tarot forecast will be tied to that astrology reading. And the yoga poses, I'm a lifelong yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga on Siesta Key Beach, where the hurricane hit. And so I had to stop doing that because it would put an enormous dent into the feasibility of that working out after the beach has been devastated. And unfortunately, I also lost my car and my place of residence. So that's why I decided to do something very radical and to come out here and live off-grid, right next to nature, I mean right in nature, and the quiet and the extraordinary clean air, extraordinary air, and a vast sky full of stars. What more could you ask for? Well, I could ask for more donations because it cost me to get here and it cost me to live here regardless of its beauty. And so yes, please, I do tarot forecasts privately as well for you. So that's a way to garner a little support. And I also am very appreciative of whatever direct donations you can offer. So let's begin your reading. Cancer. This is a 4-card spread. It's a very simple spread because I like simplicity. That's why I only follow 2 transits in astrology, because it can get so convoluted that you can't remember the trail, the mathematical trail that you have to follow if you were to take every aspect during a month. So I like to make that simple. And I'm making this simple too by making a 4-card spread. The first card represents the subject of the month, the focus of the month, the theme of the month. And what we have here is so in line with what's going on in your chart. This is the Knight of Swords. And you see, the Knights are distinguished by their activity. How active are they? What are they doing? This is a general leading his army into battle, full speed ahead. It's about bravery and courage when faced with an enormous challenge. You will have to stay very alert and on your feet. And because there's quick moving action, things change rapidly. And it calls for quick decision making, almost impulsive. So you have to be very brave about your decisions, that they will be accurate. You have to be strategic in your planning, regardless of the speed at which things are moving. You have to be single-minded. You're leading again. You're leading. You're not following. You're leading. And spiritually, it portends big changes. In that, it seems that the universe is putting the puzzle together for you very beautifully. You're in the right place at the right time. And everything is moving in the right direction. And you can feel it. And so your determination, this is what the card is about, the determination and your intellectual power is being engaged. This is an intellectual enterprise. You have to use your mind. And it seems that you're being handed an opportunity to fulfill a need, a desire, a dream within, again, the context of what astrology was telling us about, which is putting yourself back onto the saddle, in a sense, just like that, and riding headfirst into manifestation of your dream. No holds barred. No holds barred. And that's exactly what the astrology forecast was saying. The second position is delineates or gives us some more information about your specific challenges that may arise. All right, so the Ace of Wands. Wands do concern what you do, what talents you have, what career you forge. And aces are beginnings, new beginnings within your career sphere. Remember, we had Venus in your 10th house of career. So not only is this opportunity promise success in the future, but it's a creative outlet that you haven't had in quite a while. And Cancers are wildly creative, and they have to have an outlet for that. Some use their family, their children, their contribution to a thriving family as their art. They're masterful at parenting and whatever it is that you've chosen as your passion. There's a new beginning promised here. But new beginnings are always very challenging because you have to have faith. You have to have faith in yourself. And Mars is in your first house, so it's giving you a lot of self-confidence. And so it's the building of self-confidence at its roots. And the root of the word confidence is to confide in yourself, self-confidence, to feel as if you're worthy and deserve credit for what you've done, for as far as you've come, and the things that you've already created within yourself, and to own that, and not to belittle even your failures, because failures show that you made an attempt, which is the most difficult thing of all, is to initiate. And this is about initiating something without really knowing whether this will pan out. But this is what it's saying, is that yes, it wouldn't show up unless the potential was already there. It's just that you have to recognize it and have confidence in yourself, in your talents, to succeed in manifesting this new aspect of your career. So, yes, indeed. The third position defines the unexpected. Things that you weren't even in those strategic plans of yours anticipating. And which in this case is really good because it's another ace. The Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is about the material world. And this is about new beginnings in your material world. Could mean new property, a new source of income, a new source of revenue, resource, a new resource that was handed to you, or is sort of it's got a magical quality to it because it meets your needs. So it feels as if it came out of heaven. And again, it might, for many, it could mean a windfall of some sort, financial windfall. Or having the capital necessary to further the Ace of Wands, to further that opportunity. So there's a sort of a magical appearance of help on a financial and material level, however that manifests for you. Some inherit. Some receive rewards for past labor or your ingenuity. You get credit. And credit in both ways, I guess, financial credit and personal credit for your achievement, and are rewarded for that. Maybe this is the first sign of the success of what the Ace of Wands was referring to. And you'll be pleasantly surprised by this assistance that seems heaven-sent, which is, again, only at its nascent phase, beginning phase. Everything seems to be starting right now. And the promise is extraordinary. The promise of its success. You've got two cards side by side. The aces also project their energy because they're the most potent. The seed is always the most potent because it has to grow the tree. So it has to have everything in it in sort of under the pressure of its size. Its potential is enormous. And so there's sort of like the frequency of an ace is almost atomic, yeah. So, consequently, for the next 6 months, maybe even year, because you've got two aces. An ace represents sort of like this frequency going out over a 6 month period even. And now that there's two, it might be a year. That at the end of the year, you will see the flowering of your seed, the seed that's planted now. Two seeds. One in your spirit, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles, one in the material world. So they both bloom at the same time. That's beautiful. All right, let's see what happens near the end of the month, or if maybe it gives us a summary or some commentary. We'll see. All right. We have the Two of Swords. Again, Swords is about your mind. And again, we have the Knight of Swords. So the challenge is intellectual. And so the Two of Swords is a card that speaks about the intellect, about the mind. But here we have a person, a woman, seated on a very hard surface, and the waters behind you are a little bit turbulent, rough. And she has a blindfold on, and the swords are crossed at her chest, at her heart. So there's an intellectual choice that you're facing. This is one possibility, an intellectual choice that you're facing, but you don't have all the evidence. You don't have all the information. You're lacking a complete picture. And so you're hesitant as to which way to go, which would be the right choice. So you could be presented with an intellectual conundrum. And maybe this opportunity that's coming up is presenting you with a choice, and you don't know which choice to make accordingly, because you don't have the experience yet, the intellectual insight yet. So it's crossed over the heart. The heart represents your intuitive knowing. And so the rough waters come from the emotional discharge, because you're not confident in which way to go, because you can't access your heart. There are too many intellectual things pulling on you, or you've over-intellectualized the situation, and it's hard for you to access the right choice through your heart, which is what you should do. And there's enough energy here to warrant you being confident about following your heart's impulse, because it will be the right choice. So that is the conundrum that you could be facing. Now, why did I put her back? I like looking at the cards when I read. So she seems rather calm herself in sort of deep meditation. And even though she doesn't have the knowledge yet to know which way to go, I think that this bespeaks of a time for you. It's a time for you. Cancers are self-neglecting. And we have Mars in your first house. It means that, in order for, the reason that I include a yoga pose that goes with the reading is because I've been a lifelong yoga teacher, and I realized that spirituality is not entirely a mental phenomenon. The body must be in a state of equilibrium, peace, and well-being in order for you to transcend into a space that is less physical. The physical is the launching pad. Without the body's at easeness, which is the lack of dis-ease, the lack of impairment, then you have free and open doors to the supernatural. And so you need to make time for yourself, for your body. The body needs love, like children, like everything in life. It needs love, and love is attention. And so take time to pay attention to what your body needs. Aesthetically, it could be that maybe you want to present better, show a more vibrant exterior, but don't neglect the interior. Make it real by movement, by strengthening your body through exercise, and keeping it clean and pure through the adoption of proper diet. That's why I include the pose at the end of the reading. So please look for that. And then after that, there'll be a yoga mudra. For those of you who can't do a pose, whatever pose that might be, maybe you're handicapped in some way, I provide you a yoga mudra. The mudra is a hand gesture. And in our understanding of the body, the hands are spiritual. It is with the hands that you express, you give, you take, you hurt, you love. It is your hands that are spiritual. And so by putting them into various shapes and holding that shape while you drive the mind in a single path of intent, then you accomplish often the same result that a yoga pose may give you. The benefits of it, the spiritual and physical benefits of it, can be derived through the yoga mudra. And I try to pick a mudra that is concerned with what's going on in the reading and in the astrology forecast. So it's all tied together. And finally, I need to ask you for your help because I'm vulnerable out here in the middle of nowhere. I don't have any source of revenue out here, not like you can when you're in a urban environment, as I was. I worked on the beach, but it was in Siesta Key, one of the most popular beach destinations in the world. So I had plenty of opportunities to make a living there. Here, I'm going to try to do it through the internet. And so that involves my doing personal and private readings for you, which I've been doing for 9 years on YouTube, and or personal direct donation there's a donation button. Below it's love donation. And that will be so lovely of you to give your support and to express your generosity towards me and my mission here, which is manifold at this point. I'm just barely able to keep up with half the things I want to do. So everything in its time. But I appreciate your support. Thank you for that. And I will see you next month. Thank you. All my love. Namaste and aloha. Welcome, Cancer, to your yoga pose for the month of May 2025. Your reading felt as if courage was what you needed to build on a psychological and spiritual level. And courage comes from a feeling of strength, stability, balance. So the most appropriate pose for you would be the warrior. The warrior resembles abstractly the Knight of Swords. So you are going to imbibe the courage that was implied by the Knight of Swords. So first of all, we have to start to think about our balance. So place your feet directly underneath your hip sockets. Place your hands on top of your hips and elevate your chest up away from your hips. Tighten the buttocks just a little and pull your chest up. Relax your shoulders. We're going to do just a few warm-up movements so that the pose becomes more natural. So we bend the knees and we sit down just a little and we start to build the strength of the quadriceps. We sit down so the weight of the body is directly over the hip sockets and the tailbone, and all that weight is sinking down. Hands on top of the hips. And then we straighten up, we roll the shoulders up, we roll them down, and we sit down again. And we sit down a little further this time, keeping the feet flat and trying to keep the knees, not to go too far past the toes. Keep them behind the toes. And sit down. Look down. Okay, good. Roll the shoulders up, lift up, inhale. Exhale, we sit. Inhale up. Exhale down. And so we're going to now mobilize. Move up and down. Keeping the shoulders rolling, keeping the knees moving. We roll. I want you to do as many of these as you feel you can. Participate with me and do them with me. We roll. If the shoulders up as high as you can, pull them up, hands on top of the hips. We step out. You bring the shoulders down. I'd like you now to make sure that the feet are faced forward and that the outer rim of the feet are pressing down into the ground. We're grounding ourselves. So imagine the feet to be two magnets, drawing the energy of the earth up into the body through the soles of your feet. Plant the feet down firmly. And feel that energy coming up through your body and let it spiral up the spine. And then that spiral moves out from the crown of your head and the shoulders relax. So we adjust. The arms are by your side. We're just imbibing, pulling in the magnetic the earth and connecting to that energy. Use your imagination. Feel the energy of the earth and let that move up through you. Feet flat, kneecaps up, buttocks a little tight. Arms by your side. Let go of your shoulders. Now we deepen our breathing. We inhale. We roll our shoulders up. We take a deep breath through the nose. We roll back, exhale. We tighten the kneecaps. We tighten the buttocks. We look down, make sure that the feet are parallel, and walk out a little further. And each time we walk out, plant the feet down firmly into the earth and allow that energy to course up through you from the earth. We hold and breathe. Now walk the feet out just a step more, heel, toe out. See if you feel strong, connected. If not, come back in a little. Keep the chest nice and high and relax the shoulders. Keep the feet flat, keep them parallel. Keep face forward, planting the feet down firmly into the magnetic energy of the earth. Just imagine. Breathe slow and deep. Now look to one foot. Turn that foot up so that the heel dissects the arch of the other foot. Plant the feet down firmly. Look in the direction of the extended leg. This is a modified version. You can stay here. Or you can bend that knee, the front knee, and align it right over the heel. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and the arms relaxed. We can step, heel, toe, step away from the front leg, from the leg that you can see, and come down a little further, not jeopardizing the knee-ankle alignment. We walk back. And this is a way to approach the pose carefully, seeing at each step whether you feel you have control. And if you do, you can progress, and if not, you can go back. We sit down. And we inhale, we bring the arms up to shoulder level, and we pull out through the fingertips. We point the thumbs to us, and we extend out. We hold and breathe. We hold and breathe. Feel the strength moving through you. Feel the electricity coursing through your body. Extend it out from the fingertips. Lower the arms slowly as you straighten the bent knee. Turn the foot forward that you're looking at. Turn it forward. Turn the other foot forward. The legs are too far apart right now. We need a little stability. So we heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe in. Putting the feet right underneath the hip socket. We place the hands on top of the hips. We bend the knees. We inhale. We roll the shoulders up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're building strength through the quadriceps, flexibility in the knees. The quadricep is the largest muscle in the body and gives the greatest strength. So by developing the quadriceps, we build natural strength, which then makes us more courageous, more confident. I'm taking taking my thumb and I'm also massaging the back of my hips at the lower back with the thumb like this in a circle as I'm moving. It's really quite good to open up that area. And inhale up. Keep the chest high, look down and separate the legs, keeping the feet parallel to one another and just outside of hip width. We relax the shoulders, we tighten the knees, and we just take a few moments to absorb the energy, the magnetic energy of the earth. So we wait. And we feel it lifting up into us and spiraling up through the spine. Feel that. We inhale, we lift the energy up through us. Exhale, we drop all of our tension, all of our worries, all of our problems. And all we have left is our strength and our courage. So we walk up. And we see if we can find balance between the two pillars. Chest high, relax the shoulders, keep the feet flat, adjust. Now we walk out as far as we can without being too uncomfortable in the inner thigh or through the hip sockets. And then you turn the other foot, remember which side you already did, and you turn that foot out so it's at a 90-degree angle and that the heel dissects the arch of the back foot. And you just wait. And you bend the knee and you put it over the heel. And you walk the back foot very, very carefully away from you. And you come down. The chest faces forward. And let's just come down. Keep the back knee straight and the front knee bent. Face forward, bring the arms up to shoulder level, pull out through the fingertips, and hold for as long as you can, comfortably. We hold and breathe. Extend. Hold and breathe. Body full of courage. Feel it through you. Bring the arms down, straighten the front knee, turn the foot forward, turn both feet forward, and relax your shoulders. We heel, toe it in, bringing the legs in, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, until you arrive in the middle. And right here, we just shift the hips from one side to the other to release whatever tension we may have caused. And we bend the knees and we shift from one side to the other, putting our hands at the top of the hips and just releasing whatever tension we may have caused. We shift. And we roll it out, pressing the hip side back to the side and forward. We roll it out. Keep the knees bent. We keep the knees bent and we come down. And we reverse. Down. And we straighten up, roll the shoulders up, roll them back. Plant the feet down firmly. Feel the energy coursing up through you. Feel strong. Feel brave. And feel as if you are solid. Place your hands in prayer. Take a deep breath through the nose. Exhaling gently, bow forward. And say namaste. Inhaling up. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Wait for the Mudra, the hand gesture that follows. It's a way for you to access the same courage, but using the magic of your hands. So wait for that. And thank you for donating, helping me to sustain this new adventure, both spiritual and social. So thank you very much for your donations. Anything you can afford is so appreciated. Saying aloha from the Big Island. See you next month. So welcome, Cancer, to your mudra for May. And the yoga pose gave you strength, physical strength, and it was a gesture of defiance and courage and solidity and balance. But I would like to give you a mudra of inner trust. Trust that you're supported by the omnipotent creator of the universe, and he has never, or she has never divided himself from you or herself from you. So this is to reconnect you with that trust. This is what builds self-confidence on the inside. Trust that you are protected and that you are loved by God and all that is. So you take your hands and you lace them together, fingers cross, like that, that's all. And you place it against your chest. And you envision the power of the universe, the power that created everything that is, moving you with the same force, with the same strength, and that you will endure all changes. You will endure all challenges and become more and more like the angels, like God. Good and strong and brave and courageous. Close your eyes and feel that coursing through you, moving through your heart. Breathe slowly. Feel strong. You feel powerful. You feel good and loving. Bring your hands away from your chest. Separate your hands and put them into prayer. Bring your hands up to prayer. Thank you everyone for joining me. You can use that in a meditation for several minutes at a time, or you can sit for a half an hour and feel the courage, the bravery, the enormous inner strength that you have. Thank you for joining me, and namaste. Aloha.